are you having for dinner tonight? I am having pork. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut open my pork, which is nice chops here. And I'm going to take, this is a kind of like a barbecue rub. And I'm going to spread the barbecue rub on one side. And it has like lots of wonderful stuff in it. And then I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna put them in my Micropro grill. I have a little bit of fat on them, but that's okay. I'll probably make a little barbecue sauce to put on them once they're all done. Go wash my hands. Just because I would like them to be a little more rich in barbecue. So I'm washing my hands, get all the pork ooze off me. To thoroughly douse this in hog house rub. Might flip them over and do the other side a little more too. And get all the sides so they're nice and beautifully seasoned. Now the thing that I love about the Micropro grill is beyond the preparation here, which really isn't a lot because I'm not trimming any fat. I'm just throwing it in here. I don't have to add any non-stick materials to keep my meat from sticking to the grill. I am just putting the meat in, covering it with whatever seasoning I want, and then I'm going to put on the lid and microwave it 20 minutes. Wash my hands again before I handle the outside of my Micropro grill. And if I wanted to, I could throw some onions in here with this, but I think I'm just going to cook them as is. And then I will add the lid. And the lid for the Micropro grill can be either in the grilling position or the casserole position. The casserole position, it just kind of rests on top without touching the food underneath. The grilling position, it goes in. You have these metal plates inside. So your food is heating up through convection heat. It's not heating through microwaves. So this grill actually gets up to 420 degrees. And the microwaves obviously circulate around and under it, so it's nice and even. And I'm gonna pop this in the oven, not the oven, it doesn't go in the oven. I'm gonna pop it in the microwave. It cleans up really nicely too. Cleans up nicely too. You cannot put it in the dishwasher though, but it cleans up so nicely you don't really need to worry about putting it in the dishwasher. So in 20 minutes we will have supper ready. So in the meantime, I have more of this meat, which I'm gonna throw in a container, and I think I'm gonna throw some barbecue, some of the hog house rub on it also, just because I need to put this in the freezer. The meat It's one of those woohoo deals that you can't really let them sit around very long in the fridge after you buy them. So, again, you know, they're kind of drowning in pork juices, but I'm gonna pop them in my freezer mate, and then when I'm ready to make them, I'm just gonna thaw the freezer mate out in the fridge and then transfer it to either my grill or something else and cook it. I don't know if this last piece is gonna fit in there. Well, we'll squeeze it in there on its side. All right. So, since I'm going to be rotating this is a nice size freezer mate. And the freezer mates are nice and flexible. They're designed to keep the freshness in, keep the moisture in, keep your food from getting freezer burn. So I'm just gonna douse this with Hog House Rub. And this way, if I use up the rest of this, or this will already be seasoned when I'm ready to take it out and use it. So just turning it all sides to make sure that all sides of the pork are seasoned. And I like doing the rubs because then you don't have all the extra sauce on it, and it just nicely cooks into the meat. And while this is thawing, it will season the meat so that I don't have to spend time leaving it in the fridge for like an hour to season. So just getting all sides. I still have some left in here. I have to order more of this. I get this from the seasoning from a place called Stewart Spices in Rochester, New York. And I love their spices because they don't add anything extra to them. They don't add fillers, preservatives, and I'm trying to watch what I'm eating. Right now I'm inhaling a little bit of this, but there's not much left in here. So I think I'm going to end up having to buy some more. My kids love it too. So when I freeze stuff and make sure that I label it, I have no idea where my marker went, but that one's a dry erase one. I'm gonna have to label it in pen. So with these, you put it in on one side, work your way around until you get it on, and then it's waterproof. Everything's in. And I always label it with date and the ingredients so that it's not mystery meat and I don't know how long it's been in there. So let's see. There's my marker. These are pork, and it is March 16th, 2021. And I'm going to stick it in the freezer with my other meat so I don't forget. Oh, perfect. I'll stick it on the top. And then I have chicken that I need to put in. And I might go ahead and season the chicken in the Hog House Rub 2. This I cannot get away without trimming seriously, I know it's cheaper to buy meat that isn't pre-trimmed, but it really grosses me out. So since these chicken breasts are so huge, I'm gonna cut them in half. They kind of expand when I cook them. And when I make them, I'll either just go ahead and take 2 of these out of here, or I'll go ahead and make them all. But right now I'm just trying to get all the extra fat off. Put them in there. A lot of fat on this piece. Actually, that's mostly fat. I just threw fat in there. So I'm going to season these, and I'm going to toss them in there too, so that when we're ready to eat them, all we have to do is thaw them and throw them in either the Micropro grill, or we could do it in the pressure cooker. You can do it a lot of different ways. So my hand's gooey, so I'm gonna just go ahead and add the barbecue seasoning, and I hope I have enough here. If I don't, then I'll kind of wing it and add other stuff. But let's add this in here. Get these nice and coated. So we have barbecue chicken when we can have barbecue chicken. Oh yeah, there's like almost none of this left. So I'm just gonna finish it off and put the rest in there. So no more hot house syrup, which is a shame. So I'm gonna have to order some more. And I'm gonna wash my hands before I handle the lid. I don't know if I remember to write pork, barbecue on that pork, so I'm going to pull that out and write barbecue on that before the label gets too cold to write on. And I left the water on. I'm going to deal with that. All right. That all wet, so I have to dry it off so my tape sticks. And still have 2 more chicken breasts in there. Chicken, raw. I'm gonna write that on there too. 3/16/21. I'll go pull the other one out, make sure I write raw. I mean, not that I wouldn't be able to tell when I thought it, but. So I'm gonna write raw and BBQ. So. One more thing of chicken. There's something else in here. Oh, it's edamame. Maybe I'll go ahead and make that too for dinner. I love edamame. So I need another container, or maybe I need 2 containers to put the rest of my chicken in. You know what? Might all fit in here. We will see. So pull the chicken out. Again, these are humongous, so I need to wrestle with them a little bit, cut off all the fat, And then I'm going to figure out what to put on them because I'm out of hot house rub. I swear, if I had to prepare meat, like really fresh meat, I probably would be a vegetarian because touching raw meat, it's a texture thing. Let's see, how long do I have on that? I still have 9 minutes. All right, so this one is humongous. I could probably get like 3 breasts out of this. Of course, you know, people want to eat more when they're cooked. They can pull out another one, but I think for now, I'm just gonna cut it into smaller pieces because it's ginormous. I had a little trouble getting off, and I gotta turn that water off. It's biting me. I didn't get it off already. So, what should I season my chicken with? I have no idea. I have cool chili. I have a lot of desserty stuff. I have jambalaya. That may be good. Jamaican jerk rub. That sounds really good. So that's what I'm gonna do. The rest of this chicken I'm gonna do with Jamaican jerk rub. And I'm just gonna shake on it. It smells really yummy. Of course, it's not yummy raw. You need to cook it. This rub does not want to come out of, has bigger particulates in here than the holes. And it's very fragrant. All right, so I got my first chicken breast piece in there. And this one, I guess, is a little large too, so I'm gonna cut in half. And you know, I can always cut this, oh, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. That's a lot of work though. You know what, I'm just gonna keep them this size. And then if I want them smaller, once I thaw them, I can cut them smaller. And I can always add more rub. But get all this icky stuff off of it. I don't know how much of this is salvageable. So I know people would be cringing at how much of the actual chicken I end up cutting off while I'm cutting off the extra crap. Speaking of, there is still extra stuff on here. All right. And this is a relatively small piece. Put the fat glob in there with it. This will at least cut down on my prep time. I'm getting jerk rub all over my countertop when I go to make dinner. And this one's all ready to go in. Almost tempted to just throw it in there and shake it up and not worry about shaking it out like this because this is taking a while. Kind of decide on some of my recipes on the fly. I don't always follow a recipe. So, all right, more gooey chicken to handle, and then I will pop this in the freezer. It looks like it fits it all. I can tell you what size freezer mate that is in a little bit. Right now I'm not going to lift it up because I want to maximize my gooiness on my hand. Well, not maximize it, but the time that I'm washing my hands Again, I'm gonna cut this into 3 pieces. I mean, they're smaller pieces, but haven't decided beyond the rub what I'm gonna do with these, what I'm gonna have with them. So probably just not sneeze into the food and make all this together. And it's probably gonna be easier if I just cut this in half. So I try to do this because it saves on time. The last thing I want to do when I'm hungry is spending time prepping food. I just want to fix it and forget it. Get it all ready, throw it in the microwave, and hit go. So you can get like barbecue rub and Jamaican jerk rub in the grocery store. But again, I got mine from Stewart Spices. Very happy with their spices. I don't order often, but when I order a lot. I think I need to order some more. Another spice that I really like of theirs and my kids like is the volcanic seasoning. Come on. There. So that is very well coated. I do not have the Tupperware kitchen shears yet, but that is on my wish list. I've only started doing this in August, and what I want is currently bigger than my budget because I want everything. All right. So, this is very well coated. And I can get rid of these. I can get rid of my chicken goo, all that nasty fat. And then I can close this up and freeze it. If you haven't noticed, I tend to trash my kitchen when I prepare my food. Trying to do a little bit less of that and a little more cleaning up as I go. Oh man, the jerk rub is really it's really light and it floats in the air, and so I ended up inhaling quite a bit of it. So again, I'm sealing it up in one of the Tupperware freezer mates, and this way I can pull it out later. Oh yeah, that's edamame. See, I forgot already what the other container I had on my, and this one is a 1.1 liter. And again, it's flexible. You have the little snowflake design on it, and it's really nice for freezing down meats, leftovers, vegetables. I have a bunch of vegetables in some. Just prevents your food from going nasty quicker, keeps them fresher. All right, so this is chicken. Oh, it sounds like my pork is done. Check it. 3, 16, 21. And the only thing to remember about this, you can put it in the microwave. You cannot put it in the microwave. you can put it in the dishwasher, but do not put it in the microwave. You need to put your food in something else to microwave it. All right, so put that in the freezer. And I don't think you can hear it sizzling, but it is sizzling. And I need somewhere to set down my lid. The lid is very hot, so I think I'm gonna set it on hot pad. And as you can see, the pork is done, it's seasoned. You have a little indented area around the pork where the fat and extra juices go, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And another thing to remember about these, the Micropro grill, is you do not want to use sharp knives on it. You want to use a nylon knife or plastic knife if you're going to cut anything. And let's try this. I'm just going to cut into there, see how it looks inside. Looks pretty good inside. You probably can't see. This piece has a little fat on it, so it's catching on the fat on the bottom. One thing about this, since it stays hot, if you leave the lid on, it will continue to cook. So that's all I have for now. I'm going to pop the edamame in a vent and serve, heat it up. Again, these don't go in the microwave. You need to use a microwavable dish like a vent and serve or one of the Crystal Wave dishes. The vent and serves, they're good for, you can actually cook in them, but they're good for leftovers, and you can put them in the freezer, microwave, dishwasher. They have these little vents that pop up so that your food doesn't, your lid doesn't implode. They're stain proof and pretty much non-destructible. They are warranted for life. They have these little feet on the bottom so that the microwaves go completely under and heat this evenly. So I'm gonna go heat this up and then I'm gonna eat dinner. What are you having for dinner tonight?